Hello, this is Jack Sheffield. I call myself Jack the Exam Guy. I specialize in helping people pass the Florida State Contractor exams. I'm going to take you through a problem that is it's a word problem, a math word problem that is in my course, and you might see this on the business and finance exam, or you might see it on the contract administration exam if you're testing to be a general contractor. But everybody has to pass the business and finance exam if you want to be a state certified contractor. So here we go. This is the contractor is starting the job on June 1st. The contractor will be paid on June 30th. The contractor does not have the money to purchase materials. Simple interest on borrowed money is 8% annually. There are 4 suppliers, all with different terms. Which option is the lowest cost? So what we're getting at here is that since the job is starting on June 1st and the contractors will be paid for the job and finish the job on June 30th, then there's going to be a 30 days. The contractor is going to have to borrow the money for 30 days. All right. Well, what is the interest? The first thing we have to find out is what is the interest for 30 days? What percent? And so what we have, that's the monthly interest. Okay. 30 days, monthly interest. Okay. Pretty much the same thing. So how do we figure that out? Well, we have 8% annually. So there's 12 months in a year. So we divide by the 8% by 12. So every month there's going to be a 0.67% interest. All right. So any money that you have to borrow, you're going to have to pay 0.67% interest. And of course, that's going to increase the cost of the job. Okay. So the first supplier is offering to sell the supplies at $79,500 payable on delivery. So what happens is the contractor is going to have to borrow that money, right? So at 79.5, adding 0.67% interest. Now, if you have the good kind of calculator where you just have to hit the plus sign, you could put 79.5 in your calculator, hit the plus sign, and then hit 0.67% interest, and boom, your answer comes up. Okay, and that's the kind I suggest you have. If you don't have that calculator, let me know and I'll give you a link where you can pick one up. Okay, so I hit 79.5 in my calculator. I hit the plus sign. I put in 0.67, hit the percent key, and voila, $80,032.65. If you don't have that kind of calculator, then you got to figure out what 0.67% is, and then you got to add it to the 79.5. You can do that too, but it's much easier if you have the right kind of calculator. We just hit, and then you get used to using that calculator. 79.5 plus sign 0.67% sign equals 80,032.65. So there you go. So that's what that job, if we use that first supplier and we had to borrow the money, that's what that would cost. All right, so let's go to the second one, 79.9 net 30. Well, net 30 means we don't have to pay for it for 30 days, so we don't have to borrow any money. We could use that one. Okay, and of course, we're assuming best possible scenario. We don't have any issues, the job gets done when we say it's going to get done and so forth. So net 30, we don't have to borrow any money, so it's just going to be 79.9. There you go. Okay, so far, that's the cheapest one, 79.9. Okay. Now let's look at the third scenario. Okay. 81,250, 2% net 10. Well, we have to know what this means. And maybe we do, maybe we don't, but I'll explain it. That means you're going to get a 2% discount if you pay within 10 days. So we're going to get a 2% discount. Now, but we're going to have to borrow the money. So we're going to have to subtract the 2% out of 81,250. Then we're going to have to borrow that money. So we subtract 2%, and then we have to add back in our 0.67%. So here we go. We start with our 81,250. We subtract 2%. That gives us 79,265. Then we have to borrow that money, so we have to add back in our 0.67% equals 80,158.48. All right, so 79.9 still the lowest. Well, let's check the next one and see what happens. Okay, and it's going to be very similar to the third supplier. It's just that it's just different numbers. We have to take the 82.4, subtract 5%, and then we're going to have to add back in the 0.67%. So see if you can do that one on your own. You might want to hit the pause button. At this point, when I'm doing a one-on-one with somebody on a Zoom call or whatever, I usually say, okay, now you figure out this one. So hit the pause button, see if you can figure it out, and then come back. Okay, here we go. We have our 82.4. We subtract our 5%, we get 78,280. Then we add back in 0.67%, we get 78,804. Voila, 78,804 is less than 79,900. Okay, so answer D is actually the best answer, even though if you at first glance you may not think so because of it being a high number, but you get that 5% discount. Even though you got to borrow the money, you're actually going to save, what is that, almost like 180 bucks or something like that. Okay, that's the answer to that question. This is a typical kind of question that you might see on the business and finance exam. It is actually a little bit tricky, and if you didn't have somebody to show you how to do these things, you might be scratching your head a lot on test day. But and that's why I encourage you to visit my website, jacktheexamguy.com. Watch some of my free videos. You can enroll in the business and finance course at no cost. I don't ask for a credit card. All I ask for is your email and a password. Sign up, sign up for an account. It will take you to the business and finance course, and you can watch a few of those videos for free to see if it's a good fit for you. If you like the course, if you like what you see, then as you proceed through the course, it'll ask for payment. Thank you so much for listening. And once again, now you don't let anybody tell you you don't know Jack, because now you do. Thank you very much for listening.